Hello and welcome to Product Discovery Unlocked, 6 sessions to improve on-site search and navigation. This is our video series to help you understand one of the easiest ways to help your customers find the products they want to buy, which of course will reduce bounce rates and improve your conversion rates. In this video, we're diving into how the Klevu automation works and the benefits that brings, simplifying your day and improving your results. I'm Chloe Thomas, host of the E-commerce Master Plan podcast, and I'm joined by Mattias Schlyter. Based in Stockholm, his focus is on helping e-commerce businesses to connect with the solutions that will make the biggest impact for their business. Hello, Mattias.
Hello, Chloe.
Okay, let's just dive straight in with the question: how does Klevu build that all-important relevancy to get existing customers to buy?
It's a very good question. I would start off by saying it's a little bit of a tip for everyone that is looking for a search engine for their e-commerce store, to really make sure that they choose a search engine that understands the language that the shoppers are writing in, because if that is not the case, then it will be extremely difficult for any search engine to really deliver great search results. I mean, it could be easy search phrases like couch or sofa. That is usually not an issue, but just a little bit more complex, red sofa, then that could actually make it really difficult for a lot of search engines, because they might be searching for all the products that are red and also all the sofas, and deliver a search result with all those different kinds of products, and maybe none of them are really relevant to the actual search query. So that is just 2 words, but it could be, of course, a lot more complex than that. It could be search phrases that are red sofa under 400 pounds, or if we add errors, spelling errors to that, so red sofa with 2 Fs under 400 pounds. It can be more and more complex, and Klevu is one of the search engines, of course, that can handle this in a really, really good way, thanks to what we call natural language processing. It's mainly just a tip for everybody listening to make sure that the search engine you use has this feature in it.
And so that's a feature, which means it's really not just a case of going sofa and matching it with everything on your database that has the word sofa, or red and matching that. It's a lot more clever than that, because it's kind of working out what the human being means as they put those words in, not just straightforward keyword matching.
Exactly. It might sound easy, but it's really quite complex to deliver relevant search results with a lot of different kind of queries. It's quite complex, but it's definitely necessary, I think.
And then Klevu takes it to another level as well, I believe.
It does, yeah. So for example, the under 400 pounds, for example, is something that most shoppers don't really search in that way, because they don't really think it works. So that is a little bit of a next level kind of search in a way. Yeah, and then of course Klevu also delivers the machine learning, because you mentioned the automatic way of making the search relevant. I mean, the most important thing I can say is to really focus on what the shoppers are doing. What are they searching for? What products are they clicking on? What products do they actually buy? So based on that kind of data, analyzing that kind of data, you should be able to really make the search results relevant to the shoppers. So for example, if someone is searching for a sofa, then what products should be shown on top? What products should be shown in the bottom? What order should these products be? How should they be ordered? So based on what products have been performing the best, really. So for example, click the most, purchase the most, etc. That order will automatically be, or the order of the product will automatically be based on that data, really. And that is something. Yeah, sorry, did you have a question? Maybe?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think so. It's really clever that way, that first of all you've got that NLP the language understanding, which is making sure that
Right.
it actually knows what the customer's looking for, and then you've got the machine learning over the top. So like the first bit deals with the customer frustration and makes sure they get what they actually search for, and then the second bit, the machine learning, is making sure that the customer is getting the best possible results for you to be able to sell to them, because it's based on what other customers have done in a similar scenario. So it's kind of, I guess, that's very much about your existing customers and people who are coming back and again. But the whole Klevu piece can also help build relevancy for site visitors who haven't even been to the website before, can't it?
Yeah, for sure. So, of course, the machine learning is there learning from all the shoppers. And for example, I mean, I'm from Sweden. I'm from Stockholm. We do have a lot of merchants, a lot of e-commerce stores that are only active here in Sweden. And Sweden is, of course, it's a long country. We have the northern part and we have the southern part, and we do have e-commerce stores that are selling to all people. Doesn't matter where you live. And I'm thinking about especially one merchant that are selling shovels by other things, and making it relevant for the people in Sweden, depending on where you are. It can be very tricky for a lot of merchants, especially if you're trying to do this kind of relevancy manually. But what happens in Klevu is that we really look at where the people are in terms of geographically in the country, for example. So a person that is searching for a shovel in the northern part of Sweden where there's a lot of snow will most likely be presented shovels that focus on handling snow, while someone in the southern part of Sweden also searching for shovel will most likely be presented shovels that focus on digging in the ground, because that is what you do in the southern part of Sweden.
Wow, that's amazing. So it's not just going, everyone who's ever been on our website did this and that's what they bought. It's also looking at the IP address or some geographic signifier. Let's not get into that level of technicality, but some geographic signifier about where the person who's doing the search is actually at that moment in time, and therefore putting it more relevantly. So, we've got snow shovels in the north of Sweden, and we've got earth shovels in the south of Sweden, which would work in any country. And I suppose that's hugely powerful for making sure you're going to be presenting the right products to the right people at the right time, which I think for a human to do that themselves would be amazingly time consuming.
Yeah, it would be probably impossible. Especially if you have a couple of thousands of products, and really trying to stay on top of that would be a huge task, because things change all the time.
So Klevu clearly saves the merchant a lot of time in merchandising the products better as people are using the search engine on the website. So how much once it's set up and it's installed and it's running, how much does the merchant actually need to do to keep Klevu running and delivering results?
Yeah, that's another good question. I would say nothing really. So
nice.
The merchant, yeah,
we just put it in and it just brings us some sales. Loving it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A lot of our merchants are integrating Klevu. They are getting started with Klevu, and they never really lean back and relax, because there's always a lot of other things that you need to do. But Klevu really makes it easy to get started, and you don't really need to do anything. However, what I usually tell the shoppers that I work with is to at least activate our weekly or daily email reports, because they contain analytics such as what keywords are being searched the most, what keywords are being searched the most but generating 0 results, for example, or what keywords are being searched the most from different locations, which could be very useful in a Google AdWords perspective, etc. So a lot of information like that could really be helpful when it comes to both improving other parts of the business, because that kind of knowledge and those kinds of insights could be helpful in other parts of the business, but it could also help you see that, okay, here is something that we can improve in the search, or here is something that I can just make even better, or here's something that I can learn. And I just always ask the clients to get this kind of insights because I definitely find it helpful and
because
gives them the kind of control in a way.
That's one of the things, isn't it? If you can see what your customers are actually searching on the site, there's a lot you can do with your merchandising planning, with your buying, with your marketing activity to help fulfill that demand if it's going unfulfilled, or to recognise that demand at other times. So yeah, I think I like that idea of just getting a weekly or a daily update into my inbox of something, so as I don't completely forget about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because often when we buy these great pieces of software and we put them in the background, we install it and it's doing its job, and day by day it's getting better and delivering better results, there is that tendency to just go, box ticked, and ignore it. But having those updates just enables us to be reminded there's more we could do here. So obviously a merchant can choose to just install it and then receive those emails, or they can get quite involved with kind of adding that icing on the cake extra layer if they want to. So what can the merchant do to enhance the results even further?
Yeah, right. So, I mean, one of the main reasons I joined Klevu in the beginning was because of the flexibility and the possibilities that are for the merchant when it comes to improving the search for their business. Because something that I experienced before with other search engines I mean, there are other artificial intelligence, machine learning driven search engines on the market. However, I felt like many of them were reminding me a lot of a black box where you couldn't really affect it much. So that was something that I really liked with Klevu. So the things you can do, just to mention some examples, is of course boost a product or a whole bunch of products based on rules. You can work with banners, you can work with synonyms or URL redirects. I mean, there's a lot of flexibility in Klevu to really make sure the shopper can put their own business logic on top of the machine learning, on top of the search engine, to make sure that it's not only focusing on what the shoppers are doing and making sure the best results are based on that, but also making sure that the business logic from the company is taken into consideration as well. It might be that a merchant has products with huge margin. It may not be the most popular products, but they have really, really good margin. And it would make sense for that merchant to maybe boost those products a little bit so they become a little bit more top of mind, and making sure that they become more visible, because if they're more visible, they're more likely to be purchased.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the conversion rate, it's also about the pounds that end up in the bank, the pounds or euros or dollars that end up in the bank at the end of the day, isn't it? So sometimes those margin tweaks or tweaking products based on their margin can be hugely lucrative for a business.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned about some of the banners tweak that merchants could do. What's that one?
Yeah, so I think banners is something that we've seen the usage of banners become, or we have seen the usage of it increase a lot since this sad Corona period happened. We've seen it from a big number of pharmacies, for example, where they want to inform the clients about for example, hand sanitizers that maybe they are out of stock and when they are coming in, etc. It's just a really easy and effective way to communicate with clients, to use banners in the search. So you can, for example, have messages, or of course you can have messages about sales and that kind of thing, those kinds of things as well. But we've also seen it as a great way of really sending messages to the clients about what's going on. And
got it. So rather than in that hand sanitizers example, rather than having a big banner across the whole site on every page to say, sorry, hand sanitizer out of stock, do something else, whatever the message may be, you can trigger it so as its own, you put it on your hand sanitizer category pages and new product pages, but you can also trigger it so it's on the search page.
Yeah, and of course you can also say that as soon as someone is searching for hand sanitizers, then this banner should pop up. And it could be as soon as someone is searching for face mask, then this face mask banner should show up, etc. So there are a lot of possibilities, and as I mentioned, there's a lot of flexibility within Klevu as well. So
And that's the sort of thing which in more normal times, if we've just launched a brand new range of swimwear and someone's
Sure.
typing something about swimwear, we could put a banner there to take them to the more fulsome experience that we've created about our new range, maybe the lookbook or the collection or something along those lines.
Exactly. Absolutely true.
Nice. And then you also mentioned synonyms, I think, which I'm a bit curious about that.
Yeah, no, so synonyms and URL redirects, they are a little bit similar, but it often happens that shoppers have synonyms for products that the merchant may not have thought about. So couch and sofa would be an example of that. In the product information given to Klevu, the word in the product information may be sofa, but Klevu also has the understanding that couch is a synonym to sofa, but that might not always be the case, that Klevu understands that automatically. So we do have a feature called Synonyms, where the shopper can firstly see, of course, all the keywords are being searched, and keywords that are being searched generating 0 results. So it's easy for the shopper to see that, okay, these words are not generating any search results, but I do understand that this is a synonym to another word that we do have in the product information. Then they can just go to the synonym part of Klevu, add the word that Klevu is not understanding maybe, and say that it's a synonym to this word, and then it's fixed.
Nice. So that would fit in quite nicely with your daily emails you were mentioning, which are telling you about your search results, and if they're flagging up that something's leading to no results, and you're like, but we've got some, we just call it strange words that you'd never have guessed. That's
Exactly.
when we go in and put in a synonym.
Exactly. That could be one example for sure. There are a lot of examples of it, but I think you get the I think you get what I'm getting at. Well, and another feature that is very similar is the URL redirect. You mentioned maybe the new swimwear collection. Maybe as soon as someone is searching for swimwear, pressing enter, you may not want to take them to the search result landing page. You may want to take them to a dedicated page for swimsuits, where also the new swimsuits are presented in a really good way. So that is also a feature.
And I guess that would be quite useful if someone's searching for delivery and returns information. And those.
For sure, that is another example. Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Well, Mattias, thank you so much. It's been really interesting to learn so many facets of the Klevu piece. I love the fact you've got the language piece that's working out sofa red and under £400 that then doubles up with the machine learning piece. I love the fact that you could do nothing if you wanted to. You could just put it in place and the bounce rates go down, the sales go up, all your marketing performance goes up. Love that. But I know, because I love that because I know it would appeal to a lot of retailers, but if you're someone like me as a retailer, I know there's a lot of retailers out there like me, you want to get your hands involved, and there's clearly a lot of ways you can tweak and enhance the results there as well. So if you're watching and you'd like to find out more about how Klevu can help you improve user experience and drive conversions and revenue through the search bar, then go to klevu.com, that's KLEVU.com, and sign up for a 14-day free trial to see exactly how quickly Klevu can improve your site performance and sales.